Peace. I want to talk about the phrase, "O you who believe," or "O you who trust," or "O you who acknowledge," however you want to phrase it. "O you who believe." A lot of, majority of the Muslim community believes that when God says, "O you who believe," God is talking to anyone and everyone who accepts the reading. who accept the instructions, the Quran, right? But in my in my analysis and my research and studies, I come to the conclusion that the OU who believe are excuse me, the people who was with Muhammad, right? Just like the people who was with Jesus was called Rabbaniyun, right? The white robed ones, right? So I got a few proofs on ayats. I just wanted to go through. 2:104. It says, "O believers, do not say Ra'ina, but say Unzurna and listen. And the disbelievers will suffer a painful punishment." Okay. So in that ayat, in that proof, they are speaking to the prophet. God is telling them, don't say this, but say this, right? That is something that is time restricted, right? There's stuff in the reading that is time restricted only for them, only for Muhammad and those and of his society, Muhammad and his people, right? And there's other parts of the reading that is for everyone. Now, you can definitely get guidance from the time restricted proofs. You know what I mean? Let's continue. The next one is, now we're at 278. O believers, fear God and give up what remains of interest if you are believers. Okay, so they was into the usury of interest. So God's telling them, whatever remains of it, give it up. Like, don't continue. Just give it up. Stop. Boom. Right? You can see from the context that is time restricted. It's not talking to me. Because I'm not the one who is imposing interest on people. Yeah, that's as if you're imposing interest on people. Okay. 3:100. O believers, if you were to yield to obey a group of those who was given the scripture, they will turn you back from belief to disbelief. You could just see from the context, it's referring to the people who was with Muhammad. Because why would that deal with me obeying the people of the scripture, people of the book, or the dedicators of the book? That right there has nothing to do with me. 3:118. Let me see. O believers, do not associate closely with those who would not miss a chance to harm you. Their only desire is to see you suffer. Their prejudice has become evident from what they say, and what they hide in their hearts is far worse. We have made our proofs clear to you, if only you understood. So you can see it's evident it's talking about some situation that was going on with the believers. 149. O believers, if you obey the disbelievers, they will drag you back to disbelief, and you will become losers. That does not have nothing to do with me. I'm not obeying. See, this is a warning, right? So, what kind of obedience to the believers is it? Is it following their doctrine? So, if you see from the context here, it's a situation that was going on between them and the rejectors. Hmm. 3:156. O believers, do not be like the rejectors who say about their brothers who travel throughout the land or engage in battle. If they had stayed with us, they would not have died or been killed. God makes such thinking a cause of agony in their hearts. It is God who gives life and causes death, and God is seeing of what you do. Okay. There's no one around me. I'm not going to battle. No one's around me saying, oh, if they would have stayed home, they would not have been killed. This is time restricted. You can see by the context, it's time restricted. Oh, you who believe does not pertain to me and you. Okay. 5:2. O believers, do not violate God's rights, the sacred month, the sacrificial animals, the offerings, the garlands, and those who are on their way to the sacred house seeking their Lord's bounty and pleasure. When the pilgrimage has ended, you are allowed to hunt. Do not let the hatred of a people who once barred you from the forbidden temple provoke you to transgress. Cooperate with one another in goodness and righteousness, and do not cooperate in sin and transgression. And be mindful of God. Surely God is severe in punishment. Right? So you can see from that, no one is barring us from Masjid al-Haram. That does not pertain to us. We're not even in that locale. There you go. 5:11. O believers, that's Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Remember God's favor on you when the people sought to harm you, but he held their hands back from you. Be mindful of God, and in God let the believers put their trust. Who is God holding his hands back from us? So as you can see, the O you who believe is only referring to the people who was following the messenger. Next one. And in most of the translations, you gotta like sift through it. You know what I mean? Because every translation out there in the world, I don't care who translated it, whether it's people only follow the Quran, whether it's the many theist group, Edik Yokshul, or Mohsen Khan, or Sam Garens, or whoever. There's gonna always be issues. You just gotta sift through it and just, you know what I mean, and do your own research, and then you will come to your own conclusion. But yeah, every translation, there's always issues with every one of them. Okay, did I do 594 yet? Here we go. 594. O believers, God will test you with game within your reach of your hands and spears to distinguish those who fear him in secret. Whoever transgress from now on will suffer a painful punishment. Right? I do not have no spears. I mean, I got forks, spoons, butter knives, rolling pin, cheese grater, but I don't have any spears. That does not pertain to me. If it pertains to you, I don't know, but that doesn't pertain to me. Okay. 101. O believers, do not ask about a matter which, if made clear to you, will be harmful to you. But if you inquire about it while the Quran is being equipped, is being sent down, is being supplied, it will be made clear to you. God has forgiven what was done, and God is forgiven most forbearing. Right? So this tells us that it's time restricted once again. Why? Because we are not in the presence of the prophet or the messenger while he is receiving the reading, the Quran. That does not pertain to us. I mean, if it pertains to you, if you think that you are ayyuhalladhina amanu, then I guess you have to follow. I guess you got to do that. I guess you have to do that. I don't know. $8.20. O believers, obey God and his messenger, and do not turn away from him while you hear. Once again, we are not physically with the prophet or the messenger till we can hear him and give us the reading, the instructions, the law, al-kitab, the proof, the ayats, the Quran. I mean, if you who believe is you, I guess you got to follow that. $9.38. O believers, what is the matter with you that when you are asked to go to march forth in the cause of God, you cling firmly? Do you prefer the life of this world over the hereafter? Well, you don't. I mean, like, you don't want to go. You are asked to go forth for the cause of God in battle, but you just clinging to the earth. You just clinging. You're just sticking to where you at. I don't think that pertains to me or you. But if you believe that you are you who believe, then I don't know how you can follow that. $923. O believers, fight the rejectors around you and let them find firmness in you, and know that God is with those who are mindful. I guess you have to fight the rejectors all around you. If you are you who believe, ayyuhalladhina amanu, just go around, just start fighting rejectors. Time restricted. Okay. 33:9. O believers, remember God's favor on you when forces came to you. So we set against them a wind of forces you cannot see. And God is seeing of what you do. Um, again, that's during battle. I don't think that pertains to me or you. But if you are OU who believe, then that must have happened to you. I don't know. Okie dokie. 33:53. This is one of my favorite ones. O believers, do not enter the home of the prophet without permission for a meal, and uh, do not come early until the meal is ready. But if you are invited, then enter. Once you have eaten, then go on your way, and do not stay for for any information. Such behavior annoys the prophet. He is shy to ask you to leave, but God is not shy of the truth. And when you ask his wives for something to ask behind a barrier, this is cleaner for your hearts and theirs. And it is not right for you to know the messenger of God, nor ever marry his wives after him. This could certainly be a major offense in the sight of God. Right? So, I don't think anyone could go to the prophet's house for a meal. But if you are OU who believe, maybe that has happened to you. (49:2). This is ayat 49:2. I don't use the word surah because I don't believe a surah means chapter. Okay. O believers, do not raise your voice above the voice of the prophet, nor speak loudly to him as you do with one another, or your deeds will become void while you are unaware. So as you start seeing that any proof, any ayat, because ayat is not a verse, the Quran does not have no verses in it. It's just proofs, ayats. All right. As you start seeing the ayats when it says, "Oh, you who believe," when the call to the commitment is called, leave stuff and come to the congregational prayers. All you who believe is time restricted. When you can get guidance from it though, you know what I mean? Okay. 58:12. All believers, when you consult the messenger privately, get something in charity before your consultation. That is better and cleaner for you. But if you lack the means, then God is forgiving, merciful. I mean, it's obvious. It's clear. It's mubin. You know what I mean? So we can't consult privately with the messenger. Oh. Okay. 61. O believers, do not take my enemies as yours and yours as trusted allies. Show them affection even though they deny what has come to you as the truth. They drove the messenger and yourself out simply for your belief in God, your Lord. If you immigrated to struggle in my cause and seek my pleasure, disclosing secrets to the pagans out of affection for them, when I know best whatever you conceal and what you reveal. And whoever you does this has truly strayed from the right way. So as you can see, I don't know who is God's enemy as of now. Like, could it be the dictators of the world? Like, who? You know what I mean? I don't know the enemy. I know the enemies of God, the archetype. You know what I mean? But I don't know specifically who is the enemies that I could take as a friend. And then that situation has not happened to me. Does not pertain to me. Okay. 60:10. Or believers. When believing women come to you as immigrants, test their faith. Their faith is best known to God. If you find them to be believers, do not send them back to the rejecter. These are forbidden for the rejectors, nor are the rejectors lawful for them. But repay the rejectors whatever they have paid, and there is no blame on you if you marry these, as long as you pay them their dowries, and do not hold on to marriage with the plenteous woman. Demand whatever you have paid, and let the rejectors do the same. That is the judgment of God. He judges between you, and God is all-knowing. God is knowing, wise. There is no believing women coming to me as an immigrant, or any people I know come to them as immigrants. The situation is not happening. Maybe in a different country. But if you are ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, then somehow this pertains to you. Yeah. Also 60:13. Believers, do not ally yourself with a people God is displeased with. They already have no hope in the hereafter. Just like the rejectors have given up hope of those in the grave. And then last is 61:2. O believers, why do you say what you do not do? I'm not saying anything that I don't do. But for the most part, whenever God is saying, "Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu," "O you who trust," "O you who acknowledge," "O you who believe," or whatever, God is specifically talking to the people following Muhammad, and mainly the men. It was mainly the men. A lot of this stuff deal with men. Or you who believe, when the believing women come to you as immigrants. So all you who believe doesn't even include women. Peace.